As we prepare for all the finished vehicle logistics events for 2022, it had me thinking about the wonderful event back in November and everything that was talked about and just the energy.
Absolutely. It was a magical moment in November because it was the first reunion of the industry leaders to talk about this segment that we like so much. What do you think it was the most impactful topic that we discussed?
I would say visibility was a key theme we saw, as well as obviously the flexibility that is needed given the volatility within the industry, especially across production and shipping and the supply chain at large.
To me, definitely that piece, but also I felt that we are pushing flexibility to its limits. And by that I mean that I was so excited about having the opportunity to talk about different modes of transportation, different than the standard ones that we have utilized, welcoming new patterns, new solutions, smaller equipment that can provide actually great quality and satisfy the needs of the OEM.
We're seeing unprecedented challenges as it relates to finished vehicle transportation. Our colleagues in the asset-based community certainly echoed that at the conference.
I felt that also there was this level of understanding in both ends. What the issues are on the OEM side with all this lack of components, what they're hearing from us, the industry suppliers, but also what we have to say about the challenges we face in the logistics industry. Driver shortages, lack of capacity, and the need to combine efforts.
Exactly. And as you mentioned, the large asset community is really struggling with the driver shortage, but what we've seen is those smaller equipment operators have started to pop up, and historically they've not been allowed to haul for our OEM customers, and our ability to get our arms around those folks and deliver them to our customers in a in a way that delivers quality, consistency, and is capacity that can scale as shipping patterns change is really where I see us continuing to deliver value.
Absolutely. When we put all this volume through the RPM network and based on how much we can see, I think it becomes powerful, and we should continue pushing on releasing these solutions for all the OEMs. Ultimately, if we are able to see more, then we can actually find ways to better utilize capacity, which ultimately will motivate the drivers and the trucking companies.
I think that speaks to how do we leverage the visibility of all of that data and start to say, okay, we know X OEM is bringing in product at this time, Y OEM is going to bring in product at this time. How do we start to get more intelligent around leveraging that capacity and saying, if we combine the worlds, we can keep things moving more consistently and deliver the speed in which I think our OEM customers are now saying they really need in these volatile times.
This makes me wonder, where are we going? Are we really going to focus on elevating the level of stock back again and have all these assets waiting to be purchased by a last customer? Or should we actually push for efficiency so we can play the game at a lower level in terms of stock just sitting there and become more efficient? So we should be able to reduce cost and maximize efficiency by learning how to play in a much more, I don't want to say just-in-time based system, but as close as possible to it. Again, we should be pushing collectively to share data, to put it in front of every OEM, but equally to put it in front of every carrier, so we could see where the empty capacity is, where does the empty spots gets created, how can we collectively utilize that emptiness and fulfill it back and return it to those places where we can load more vehicles because everybody has the same need. So I feel that in terms of visibility, we all can see everything that is happening, but we have to push harder on creating this level of transparency where we share this data with the OEMs.
the consumer is closer to the OEM than they've ever been. They're building their car online now. The OEM is giving them visibility to when that will be produced. And every consumer has the Amazon expectation of when it exists, I want it in my driveway. And so what that really does is say to the carrier community, we need speed in terms of transportation, along with obviously quality and safety.
Absolutely. All this digitization should be applied to bring this transparency. This will represent better planning, demand planning, capacity planning, all the resource planning, and with that we should be able actually to do something good for the industry.